So hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to talk about the common mental health issue that we heard almost every day, and it is about depression and stress. Let's start about stress. Stress is very common and we all have it one or at a time. So what is stress? Stress is when you feel emotional and physical tension. It comes from any event or thought that make you feel frustrated, angry, and nervous. Stress is your body reaction to a challenge demand. In short bursts, stress can be positive, such as when it helps you to avoid danger or you meet a deadline. But when stress lasts for a long time, it can damage your health. There are two types of stress. The number one is acute stress. Number two is chronic stress. Acute stress is a short-term stress and it goes away very quickly. You feel it when you are slamming a brakes, like you in the car, you are slamming the brakes, or you have a fight with your partner or your friend or your family, or ski down to a steep slope. It helps you to manage a dangerous situation. It also occurs when you do something new or exciting. All people have acute stress at one time or another. Now let's talk about chronic stress. Chronic stress is a stress that lasts for a longer period of time that you don't even realize it. You may have chronic stress if you have a money problem, a marriage problem, or trouble at work. Any type of stress that lasts for a weeks or even a month is a chronic stress. If you don't find a ways to manage your stress, it may lead to a health problem. So what to do if you have a chronic stress? Of course you want to relieve it, right? So there are two ways to relieve your stress. Number one is the healthy way to relieve your stress, and number two is the unhealthy one. Let's talk about the unhealthy one. The most common things that people do when they feel stress is, of course, eating. Yeah, I heard a lot of people go for eating. They shove ice cream or junk food or something sweet like chocolate, and they feel better after that. And the next one will be smoking, and the third one is drinking alcohol or using drugs, and number four is sleeping too much or too little. So those are four examples how people relieve their stress in an unhealthy way. It might be help you to relieve your stress for a short period of time, but it won't last. So how to relieve your stress in a healthy way? There are so many ways. This is my personal experience how I relieve my stress. The number one is exercise, of course. Number two is eating healthy. Number three is to accept that are some things out there that we can't change, or some situation that we can't change. We have to accept it. Number four is do something that you enjoy, like listening to music or watching videos. Number five is talking to a friend or a family, telling them how you feel right now. Number six is get enough sleep. And number seven, for me, this is my favorite, is take a shower. You will feel fresh after you take a shower and you feel relaxed, and that feeling is really good. So that is about stress. How about depression? Depression is a common and serious medical illness that negatively affects on how you feel, the way you think, and the way you act. So it's kinda like a mood disorder. Fortunately, depression is treatable, and there's a lot of example out there that people that are recover from depression. So depression can make you feel sad, or you have lost interest in the activities that you once enjoyed. and it can lead to a variety of emotional or physical problems and can decrease your ability to function at work, at life, and at home. So here are the most common symptoms that occur when someone is having a depression. Number 1 is feeling sad and having a depressed mood. Number 2 is loss of interest or pleasure in activities that they are once enjoyed. Number 3 is a change of appetite. They are eating too much or eating less. Number 4 is trouble sleeping or sleeping too much. Number 5 is loss of energy and increased fatigue. Number 6 is the increase of purposeless activity, like they can't sit still, slow movement or speech. Number 7 is feeling worthless and guilty all the time. Number 8 is difficult thinking, concentrating, and making decisions. And the last one is thought of death and suicide. These symptoms must last at least 2 weeks and must represent a change in your previous level of functioning for a diagnosis or depression. So, sadness is not always occur in someone that are having depression. There are so many examples of people that don't really look depressed. They look as a normal person. They are happy when they are outside of their home or when they are not alone. So how we can know someone that are depressed is really tricky, because we really have to get to know that person, especially for a loner, for someone that always alone. We have to talk to them and we have to put effort in it to try to reach out to them and ask them how they are feeling, not just how are you, but how they are feeling. So depression can be treated, is very common, and there's a lot of study about depression, and here are the way they can be treated. Number 1 is using medication. They can go to a psychiatrist and the doctor will give them antidepressant and some mood stabilization drugs. Number 2 is talk to a therapist, or we call it a psychotherapy, where the therapist will give them some advice or how they can cope with their depression with some practice, something like that. So there are 2 very common mental health issues that are very common. It's around us. We even have it, like stress. We all have stress, but it's really depend on the levels. And we have to more aware about this thing, because a chronic stress can also lead to depression, and depressed people can look like they are not depressed. I'm making this video to spread awareness that and to share my own experience about depression, because me myself, I have depression for quite a long time now, and I just realized it like 2 years ago, and I start to took medication, and I don't go to therapy here, but I talk to my psychiatrist. My doctor also give me some advice to cope with my depression, and it's very useful. And I'm very grateful that I met my doctor. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you can take 1 or 2 things from my video, and I will see you on my next one. Bye bye.